Just getting through series right now. Not really. Digga Bang and Loader are both been on the Metroid GT community for quite a while. I know at least Loader has been they've come out of the woodwork to rejoin the speedrun.
Sorry about those difficulties. Looks like our racers are pretty much neck and neck. That's amazing coming back from first missiles. Let's see how the pit room goes. A little bit of a hiccup on Ticketing's side. That's a very difficult room to do without falling into the pits. You hear a lot of speedrunners as they're just getting started. They try to go for pitless where they're doing very short hops over the gaps, or sometimes runners try to utilize angle down and run speed to gap skip. It's kind of up to preference. But we will see Sloaters getting a nice sub-5 bombs time here with a time of 450. Dang right behind with a time of 454. Both incredible bombs times. Lots of people out there would give a lot for a bombs time like that. So one of the things our runners are doing is they're counting the e-shots they're putting into BT, because if you hit BT on the wrong amount of health, they kind of go through a long animation in which they're invincible, and it just loses time. Looks cool though, they start running around without their head. Loader's picking up the E-Tank and Terminator. Most people do in this category. Both our runners here are trying to get to the elevator without getting hit, because they're banking on some missile drops as soon as we enter Brinstar. Both of them seem to be set up well for that. Yep, Soldiers gets in. Sometimes those crabs can scam you, but as long as you enter Brinstar with full health, you'll usually get a missile drop there. Oh, dang, falling down. That's not good. That's alright though, he does get the short hop. Does get the Mach Ball for early supers. This is a sequence break in the game that avoids the Spore Spawn mini-boss, which is a really long boss fight and kind of a loop. Look at that, the weave is free if you do it right. Good job, Sloaters. And Sloaters mockballing through Green Hill Zone. Taking a hit, but I think that's alright. Yeah, she got the missile drop that she needed. I see both runners in this category have skipped the missiles by charge beam and also charge beam. So we're going for a Kraid quick kill without a charge beam, which is a little harder. There are also a bunch of enemies along the way that are immune to regular beam shots, so we need to be very careful in avoiding them and very efficient in our ammo use on the way to Kraid. Floater's getting an 822 early power bombs, and Digga Dang making it up red towers on the same way. Oh, I like that, okay. Doesn't quite get the deep boost on the way back in Hellwind. So that's an 849 powerbomb time for Dang. Resources are looking okay for Sloaters. That health might be an issue, I'm not sure. Dang falling in our beloved Vile Plumes. Floaters getting through the soft lock tube. If you happen to leave that tube on the same frame that it's broken, Samus will be stuck in a frozen animation, and you have to reset. So there's usually a coming of age of Super Metroid speedrunners where the moment you're actually fast enough to do that, to get out of the room, the same frame that the power bomb goes off, is when you need to start slowing down. Floaters entering crate at 10:10. No lag reduction, but that's alright, she doesn't need it. Dang, not far behind. Oh, misses the quick kill. This is a very difficult trick. She does finish the fight. Now we're picking up Varia. This will make it possible for us to get through the lava dive and the run through heated rooms that we need to do to get down to the Golden Terrazzo. Tombs, I would not be surprised if neither of them use Moonwalk. I hadn't noticed. I missed whether either of them did climb Moonfall, but I wouldn't be surprised if neither of them do. Because, like I said, they are both very seasoned veterans of the speedrunning community. I think they were around long before. Thank you, Sloaters. They're both around long before Moonfall was discovered, I think. Sloaters picking up Great E-Tank. Did not get Great E-Tank from Digga Digga Dang, so that's actually some save time here. Sloater's still not far behind, though. Okay, yeah, Dang uses Moonfall. We just saw one in Business Center. Alright, so we're going to see a boots dive from both of our runners here. There's a couple ways you can get through the dive. World Record grabs 2 tanks and uses a very, very tight setup to get through without boots. You usually exit the dive with like 1 to 11 health remaining. It's very tight. Using high jump boots, there's a very specific setup it's pretty lenient, but you still have to execute it correctly. Because if you don't... Down to 1 tank now? Okay. Thank you. Both going for bottom shelf Rising Tide. I don't blame them. 1 tank bootless, yep. Dang gets the save in the Business Center, as does Sloaters. I believe in this stage of the tournament, saves are still required. If either of them skipped this, it would have been a 1.5-minute penalty. Yeah, still, for the lower bracket, I believe we're still on best of 1 with 2 saves to Tank Kong. Bad RNG for Sloaters. We're both trying to get to full supers for the green gate glitch, and Sloaters got scammed a couple times there. Still not far behind though. But Dang enters the dive. Let's see if it gets through. What a showcase. You get the bootsless and the boots at the same time. And both get through, no problem. This really goes to show that you know, if you're trying out this category, usually you pick up boots as the safety because it has a much more lenient and normalized setup. It's a little less complicated. Some people might feel pressured to drop boots. Dang, turn off the boots. Wow, look at that, we got the sync up. Hey, what I was saying is they can, you can still get an amazing time even keeping boots on. And both are through the green gate glitch and on to Golden Chorizo. Both entering Golden Chorizo at the same time. Look at this. Oh, that's interesting, Default. Thank you. So, Green Gate Glitch is pretty much frame perfect. There are a couple setups that can give you 2 frames. You want to... You have to approach, look at that, screw attack at the same frame. This is wild. Floaters with the spark setup, like that. No, that would make sense, because most of the people that do the run setup, I guess, don't have high jump. Floaters getting fast pillars, as does Dang. Both of them going for top shelf, actually, which is kind of difficult. Not as difficult in GT Classic, I suppose. Should have more runaway. Dropping through Amphitheater. Yeah, the run and jump is the easier setup for Green Gate Glitch because of the 2 frames. So if there's something that you can do to make sure that you get those 2 frames, that's super worth. And since we're just dropping down the elevator, you save like 40 frames of fade out if you pause while going on a down elevator. So that was a good time for Dang to be doing that. It does mean that for some runners, I've heard that the movement when you have speed booster on but high jumps off can feel a little cursed. But that's pretty sick that he's used to that. I wonder if he's ever put any time in a low percent speed. It's like that's the big category that you would be doing that in. The fight against Ridley in this is pretty classic. It's very similar to the any percent KPDR, which is the old route for any percent no major glitches. We have the full beam combo to the Golden Chorizo code. So we're just trying to dump 20 charge shots into Ridley as fast as possible. And Dang actually manages to skip a swoop cycle by dumping 3 supers. Saving a couple seconds there. Nice debuffs. This tournament's been going on for a little bit, so I'm sure we all know what the GT code is. If you enter Golden Chorizo room with all of your face buttons pressed down, at a certain point in the door transition, the game actually checks whether those inputs are held, and if they are, it activates a debug code that gives you 700 health, so 70 tanks. That's important because it actually takes away the 99 that you start with the game and just gives you 70 tanks. It gives you 100 missiles, 20 super missiles, and 20 power bombs. And I want to say 2 reserve tanks. It also gives you all of your movement abilities, grapple beam, and X-ray. 2-second race. And then when you leave GT, you pick up Screw Attack. Free reserves, thank you, IFB. So it pretty much gives you everything in the game, barring a bunch of extra missile packs. It gives you a hidden item that does nothing. Huh? Okay. That's interesting. Nice little short hop from sloaters27 to the frog. Yeah, that Shine Spark after GT has been the difference. That is correct. That's interesting because you don't see. I don't see the current top 3 going for that Shine Spark, so I wonder if there's some nuance there with either getting the short charge or getting optimal space jumps out of there that makes it different. Floater's taking the any percent Shine Spark up. Very respectable. Hey, if GT wants to give me $10, I'll take it. Really? I'd be really interested to see where that feature is. Is that... Floater's microwaving Batuun. This is the first boss we get to do this to in this category. So when you have the full beam combo and X-ray, any enemy that is susceptible to piercing damage, you can activate X-ray while your beam is still within their hitbox, let their iframes run out while X-ray is open, and then turn off X-ray over and over to deal additional damage. This is only applicable for enemies that are susceptible to iframes. Nice full halfie from Digga Digga Dang. Susceptible to piercing damage, so not Mother Brain and not Ridley. And the iframes have to be in a certain rhythm. So like Bomb Torizo and Golden Torizo are susceptible to piercing damage, but for some reason their iframes operate differently. Well, this is interesting. Why is... Dang is missiling down. That's interesting. Floater's not quite getting the spike suit. No, does get it on the second try, though. No, that might have been a yikes suit. I'm not sure. I didn't see a blue. Dang with a little bit of a non-traditional kill for Dragon. Oh, that was a spike suit. Interesting. Good job, Sloaters. So Twisted Soldier, you put the GT code in when you're entering the boss room for Golden Chorizo in Lower Norfair. Yeah. So there's a mini boss when you first enter Lower Norfair and you go left and through Acid Chorizo. There's a mini boss down there called Golden Chorizo, and it guards through attack. Oh, dang, not quite getting the optimal Batuin hallway. Very tight setup with a down back and a mock ball to get through there without having to stop. And Sloaters is out of Meridia. Will we see a foosball? No, not this time. Praised for foosball. Nope, no foosball. That's okay. We're now making our way to our last boss, Fantoon. Fantoon is susceptible to microwave, so this should be a piece of cake. There is a little bit of an RNG here, where 50% of the time, Fantoon will give you a slow pattern, which is about, in this category, 10 to 11 seconds slower, depending on how you kill, than a fast pattern would be. Maybe even less than that, maybe more like 8 seconds, thinking about it. It's a very tight mock ball that Sloaters just did to get through the bomb block without laying a bomb. Fantoon kills runs. Not so often in this category. It's still possible. I've seen very sick paces that would have PB'd or would have world record not quite get there because of the difference a slow versus fast Fantoon would make. But there's so much going on here after the Fantoon fight that there's so much more that could spell a PB versus world record. I believe Dan got a mid there. I wasn't watching Loaders for the pattern. I think that was a fast because it was slightly top right. Baby Skip still does lie ahead, and there are other... The Turian in this category is pretty tight as well. Low for Sloaters, mid for Dang, thank you. Depending on the strats that you go for in Turian, you can still lose 20 seconds in Turian, just from taking damage or getting a bad pattern on Mother Brain, depending on the strats you're going for in optimal play. But we're getting close to the end here, both getting through the run back to the golden statues that guard Turian. Yes, this is best of one. Both of them breaking the bomb blocks on the way with Screw Attack and Speed Booster. Very cool. That's an unfortunate bonk from Dang. That's a 2908 G4 from sloaters27. Very nice. To Tenkong, the loser will not progress in the tournament, but there are still races organized. Yeah. There's still races organized for placement in the tourney. So both runners will still see another race in the tourney. Loser will go for 15th place, and the winner will go on to race against Sunwoo Farmer. Sloaters entering Turian. This is the most input-dense part of any run, especially when you have all of the movement abilities available to you. Beautiful M1 from Sloaters. Going for a group there, that's nice. She got the mid-air spring ball, but bonked into the Metroid, unfortunately, for M3. Like I said, it's a very tight room, but beautiful to see it go right. Let's see if Dan gets it. Doesn't go for the spring ball, but a very clean room anyway. Gains some time there. Floaters is actually sitting pretty at 15 supers. I think that's the number that you want entering Mother Brain, or entering Baby Skip here. Let's see the Baby Skip. Going for the Boomer setup. Very nice, very clean, very patient. And she's through. Very nice. Dicka Dicka Dang looks like he's going for the Stachio setup. Using a bomb spread discovered by a real cutie to make it a little bit more consistent. Stachio Cat is the one that discovered that you could make the baby to get through. You could make the baby rotate the other way, which is a little bit faster. Very nice. That was actually the fastest MB1 that you can have, because you want to dump 9 supers in. Floaters could get pauseless here, which saves a boatload of time. We're trying to end this fight with 700 health exactly, which is the maximum that GT Code gives us. And if we do that, we can do the stand-up glitch and continue to damage Mother Brain while she is being attacked by the Super Metroid. I did see that invisible catch-up. And she gets it. She gets pauseless. Let's go. Ooh, almost a haircut for Dang. That could have been bad. With Mother Brain putting out some onion rings while Floaters was trying to damage down for stand-up. I'm not sure on the specifics. Ooh, Dang also getting almost onion ring there. I'm not sure on the specifics for how to do stand-up. You have to be airborne at a certain time. If you're in contact with the floor at certain points in this cutscene, you get locked to it. I haven't learned how to do it myself, though. Sinead, this was honestly such a close run. They've traded a couple times. I think Sloaters went for the Shine Spark, yeah. Yeah, it's been a very close race. This has been very fun to watch. Trying to see. similar Fantoon pattern too. I think if they had both gotten the same pattern, Sloaters got a slow. It would be less close if Sloaters also got a mid. But here we are, Sloaters is in the escape now. This is actually... this is a good time for her. Her tournament PB so far is still her qualifier, which was a 34.52. But still a really good time. Dang's qualifier and PB in the tourney has been a 36.17. Nice shine spark. There's still plenty that could happen here. Floaters does get the Behe Spark though. Dang gets the Moonfall, which gets him a little bit more time on Floaters, but she is making her way up through Peddler. Probably not enough to make the difference now. Dang gets Behe Spark. And that is GG for Floaters. Let me see the final race time. And GG Dang. We will be getting our racers in the interview room here in just a second, if they're willing to join. Give me just 1 second. Yes, we will be having another race at 1 p.m. EST in about 2.5 hours, just under. That'll be between Dark Zoa and P-Toil. We will not be getting Digga Dang in for interview. The final race times are sloaters27 in first place with a race time of 36.12, and Digga Dang in second place with a race time of 36.25. All right. Both of our racers have to get going, but it's been fun. It's been quite a showcase watching everybody. Amazing showcase of both routes, bootsless and high jump boots. Goes to show that the category is close either way. If you feel comfortable dropping boots, you can. If you don't feel comfortable dropping boots, you can still get an amazing time. So GG's to our runners. Thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting our tournament. This has been a long time coming. We've been trying to get a GT Classic Tournament going again for 3 years, I want to say. So it's been really nice coming back and getting everybody back on the GT Classic grind. If you wouldn't mind, please give our racers a follow. Both of them are pretty great streamers. Sloaters you'll see in a lot of randomizer races. Digga Dang, I haven't seen much from recently, but still a great stream. And yeah, thank you for Speed Gaming for hosting, and thanks everybody for watching. Everybody drop your deer forces in chat.